Hi, I'm back and with another video. Really big news today. The second official trailer for Godzilla was just released today, and oh my god, it was so epic. And while watching it, I actually got chills down my spine from watching it, and I'm gonna have to take a closer look at this, and this is what this video is all about. But before we go on with this video, I just want to say to the friends and family of Harold Ramis, very sorry for your loss, and loved him as Egon in Ghostbusters, and personally he was one of the reasons why I enjoyed that film so much. So Harold Ramis, rest in peace. You will be sorely missed. Okay, that's my little bit done. Very sad that he's gone. But I don't mean to be rude, but let's go on to the reason why I started this video. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The second official trailer for Godzilla. Enjoy.
I want to talk to somebody in charge. You are not fooling anybody when you say that what happened was a natural disaster. You're lying. It was not an earthquake. It wasn't a typhoon. Because what's really happening is that you're hiding something out there. And it is going to send us back to the Stone Age. God help us all.
In 1954, we awakened something.
Well, there's nuclear tests in the Pacific. Not tests.
They were trying to kill it.
You have no idea what's coming.
Can you kill it?
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control. And not the other way around.
So that was it. Oh my god. Oh, I am still getting chills from that, from the first time I watched it. Okay, so that was the trailer that was released at, what did they say, 10 AM Pacific time, which over here in the UK is 6 o'clock at night. I am recording this, it's just coming up to 8 now. So it's been 2 hours since the trailer was uploaded, and wow. Seriously, when I first saw this, I actually was shaking with excitement. I still am, to a degree. Okay, so where do we begin? First, we get Bryan Cranston's character narrating throughout the entire trailer, and he sets up the tone so perfectly. We get a little bit more on Godzilla's origin, his backstory. Now, I'm going to be doing this with a series of screen caps with a little bit of narration from me. So let's go to the first one. Throughout the trailer, we do see some incredible footage of Godzilla rising from the ocean. This is just a... words literally escaped me when I watched this bit, because it highlights just how massive a creature he is in this film. As we move on, one of the next parts we see in this trailer is a bunch of soldiers searching through a jungle, and they come across what seems to be a nuclear warhead covered in some type of gunk, or it looks like spittle to me. This could very well be the Mutos, the insectoid monsters that are in this film. Now, in one of the leaks, one of the original scripts, I think it was, it did say that the Mutos needed some type of energy to colonate their species. Essentially, they needed that type of energy source, which would explain why they go after Godzilla, because essentially he's a living nuclear reactor. That aspect of the Mutos is an interesting one, because it's a bit similar to what the Meganulon did. For those of you who don't know, they are the smaller insectoid monsters that made their first appearance in Rodan's movie, and I think that was out in 1964, if I remember my date correctly. The first in-color Toho monster movie, if I also remember. Right, so the Meganulon made their appearance in Rodan's movie, and they then became the protagonist, well, not the protagonist, the antagonists of Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. And as we see in that film, they do attach themselves to Godzilla and take some of his nuclear energy to essentially revive their queen, Mechagodzilla. It's interesting that the Mutos also have this aspect. Of course, it's nothing new, because during the Millennium series of films, and I think a couple of times in the Heisei, it wasn't unusual for one of the enemy monsters to absorb a bit of Godzilla's energy to power up themselves. The only one who took this to extremes, of course, was Orga, who tried to physically eat him. And that went wrong, didn't it? Okay, now on to another bit of the trailer I would like to talk about. Now, during part of the trailer, they specifically say that in 1954, basically that Godzilla is not the first of his species. There was the original in 1954. Now, the screenshot I'm showing you right now is during that part of the trailer, during the still photograph during the whole board meeting. Because as Bryan Cranston's character said earlier on, they were hiding something. They were trying to cover up Godzilla's existence from the world. But now that he's revealed himself, and they're trying to pass it off as a natural disaster, but it's not. It's essentially nature getting back at mankind. During this sequence, we see a bunch of nuclear bombs in a similar design to the Little Boy, which was the atomic bomb that was first used in Hiroshima in 1945. Now, they put a bit of a twist on history here by saying the nuclear bomb tests that were done in Bikini and all those island chains were not tests. They were there to try and kill the original Godzilla in 1954. Which really does add a surprising twist. That they tried to use the nuclear bombs to destroy him, but they are they were the objects that originally created him. So here's another sequence from the trailer. We see Ken Watanabe's character, Daisuke Serizawa, and his team at an excavation site, and as we can see from the screenshot here, it has a bunch of bones lying around. What we can kind of take from this is that this is the skeleton of the original Godzilla that appeared in 1954, which they've managed to kill. And this basically confirms that the Godzilla, who is the star of this movie, is like the second of his species. He is a whole new creature. Bigger, stronger, faster than the original, basically. And for the first time, we get a better look at the Mutos. Now, as you can see in this screenshot, we do see the foot of one crashing into the floor, met by some military resistance. Now, whereas Godzilla himself is revealed in this trailer, we do not see the Mutos clearly. We do not. Now, they are the ones who are being shadowed, and I think it's earlier on. I'm going to have to rewatch the trailer again. One, because it's so awesome. We do see a shadow above one of the battleships, and this is basically it. It's got like an insectoid shape to it. This could very well be the flying male Mutos. I think it's the male Mutos that has the ability to fly. It could very well be that. But there's one thing I have to address here. Because of its shape, some people are speculating that this is Rodan, the mutated pterosaur from its original film in 1964, which later became a reoccurring character in the Godzilla franchise. What do I have to say about that theory? Well, considering the way that they've handled Godzilla, you know, they've been hiding his existence for a good 50 years or so. Well, consider if the original... Well, actually, if this Godzilla is set in the modern time, which is 2014, then roughly it's going to be 60-70 years they've kept this creature under wraps. It is possible that other monsters exist, but they've also been hidden, so there's always that possibility. But considering that Godzilla is supposed to be the star of the show, I seriously doubt that they're going to put any other monsters from Toho into this film, because it would be a bit too much at the present time, I think. I mean, it'd be nice to have a hint to some of the other Toho monsters, but I think we've already got a couple of them with the Mutos. Like I said earlier, because of their energy stealing aspect, you know, there's a couple of huge creatures, and there are the smaller ones, which are the eggs. You saw earlier a strap surrounded that missile, feeding off that energy. Personally, I would love for Rodan to make a cameo, because, well, not just because he is an awesome monster, and yet another throwback to the original era of kaiju films, and a classic Godzilla character in his own right, but I don't think a lot of people may know this outside the Godzilla fandom, but Rodan was basically created the same way as Godzilla. They even take this little theory further in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, when they specifically say Godzilla and Rodan are very similar in makeup. So, I don't know, it could be possible he makes an appearance. Well, a very, very brief one, maybe. But, yeah, I definitely think that this is the Flying Mutos that was referenced in some of the leaks that came out, and that supposedly leaked script. So it's very much that, I think. And finally, there's the money shot right there. We finally see Godzilla himself in full on screen. And I gotta say, he looks fantastic. You know, fair play and well done, Gareth Edwards and Legendary. You've done it right. I know I said this in my earlier trailer review video, but you guys freaking nailed it. Perfect tone. Godzilla's been rebooted but still retains his classical look. During this bit we also get the Raw that was released a couple of days ago. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just gotta put some final words in and we'll wrap this video up. So that's it. The second official trailer for Godzilla coming out on May 16th this year. I am so freaking excited for this. And it's only a couple of days after my birthday, so I am definitely going to be there on opening day without any shadow of a doubt. Well, not front row, in the middle, so you can see everything. Packs of Doritos either side, big drink, the works, and getting an official Godzilla shirt. Definitely. Alright, so some closing words about the trailer. Fantastic. We do see a lot more action this time. We see more of Godzilla, we see a bit more of the Mutos, but they're still being kept in the dark, so in that way I think they're doing what Toho did with some of their original films, like Godzilla vs. The Thing, where the Thing turned out to be Mothra. They're keeping the other monster a complete secret. Like, they're giving a couple of hints here and there, but yeah, it looks like we're only going to be able to see the Mutos in the film. They're not going to release anything more about them from this point. We've seen Godzilla, which I'm freaking happy about, because all we had up until this point was the silhouette, but now we see him full. My only complaint about this trailer is that we had no atomic breath. But I guess this is a good and bad thing, because, I don't know, it was one of the things that may have been hinted at some point, that this trailer was going to have some of the atomic breath. But in a way, it's kind of a good thing they're keeping it secret as well, like they're not showing it. It just makes it more epic when you see it on screen. Right, so that's that. That's this video complete, and just a quick update on the part 2 of Animal Crossing New Leaf Ica video. That's in production, but I had to stop because I had to do this. Because I am a huge Godzilla fan, I'm a huge Kaiju fan, and I just had to get my word in. So until next time, see ya.